Coach Darryl Brown, Coach, first of all, success on the season. Congratulations on the good year you've had. Tell me something. What's the team record right now?
We're 14-0.
What was the record last year?
16-0.
So what's made this team so effective the past couple of years, you think?
Well, we just have a bunch of guys that play for one another. Our coaches do a great job of establishing their role, what it's going to be within the team, and then really this year has been a collective effort. A lot of different guys stepping up, making plays, and just picking each other up. So, we don't ever look into the past. We just stay focused on what's in front of us, and we just continue to work each and every week and treat every week the same. So our guys have bought into our standard and our process, and they're getting good results.
Take me back about a week. Seems like it's been about a month ago since you guys last played, last Thursday. That 1 week ago. Right now we're talking on Thursday afternoon. But what made the team, to me it seemed like the defense was really strong in that game. Strong defense to shut down that Weddington team for the most part, totally on offense. Who was ahead in that game, the offense or the defense, or was it a combination of both?
No, I thought we played outstanding on the defensive side of the ball. And one thing, about our team and our program, we win in a variety of ways. We can have games where we can score quite a few points and beat you that way, or like last Thursday night where we didn't give up any on the defensive side of the ball. And then special teams always plays a big role for us as well. So last Thursday our defense played outstanding. We needed them to. We knew it was going to be hard on offense to put points on the board against another outstanding defense in Weddington. So again, it's just about our guys doing it together and just finding a way.
And think about that way, too. You look back at Vander Davis last week. I think he had 2 interceptions. One, I think it was like a game sealer. Kosi Barnes, big plays by him on defense. I mean, your defensive backfield's been very effective for you, too. I mean, from the front to the back, all the way through, the defense has been tough.
Yeah, we graduated quite a bit up front on the defensive line last year. I think we had 5 seniors that graduated that played quite a bit for us. So that group's pretty young and inexperienced, other than Jaden Wardlaw. But they have played really well down the stretch, and Thursday night they played fast and physical up front. On the second and third level, played really disciplined. Our 2 linebackers are returners, and Drew Searles and Kyrie Milner. They played a bunch of snaps for us, and that back end, they just keep getting better. EJ, Mackay, Ramir Harris, Pat Carter, Kasi in there at the nickel, and we do a lot of different stuff with him. They played really good football this entire season and playing their best football right now. So this time of the year, it's always going to be the same. You play good defense, be able to run the football offensively, you're going to find ways to win. And, our defense, stood the test of time on Thursday night.
It's got to been a good move, too, for Patrick Carter to get back, play some defense. He's played a lot of offense last year, receiver, but with the receivers' roles out, they got a lot of good receivers, so it gives him a chance to be in the game on pretty much a regular basis. Defensive back has been a good move for him, I bet. Yeah,
Pat played receiver last year, got here in the summer, and that was his role last year, and we got into the off season, and we felt like we needed to. It was going to be best for our team and best for him to make a move to the defensive side, and he relished that role and started out the year playing that outside backer star position for us. And after a few weeks, we moved him over to corner and switched him and Kasi. That's been a good move for our team and for both of those guys. So Pat's a physical player. Really, really good athlete, has good ball skills, good tackler, so he's really excelled in his role this year.
Talk about that reception Barnes had late in the game. Pretty much gave you a chance to get a big first down, get you out deep in your own territory, gave you guys some room to move, and also help use that clock again, too, get those chains moving, keep those first downs going.
Yeah, it's just the guy stepping up and making a play. Kasi primarily a defensive player for us, and we spot him some on offense, and we had the injury to Caden Cato in the first quarter, so we're having to kind of have some moving pieces there within our team. But again, it just goes back to Kasi, buying in all off-season, spring, summer. He's had a ton of reps at wide receiver for us throughout practices and all the off-season work, so he was ready for that moment. Just a great throw down the sideline by Faison, and then Kasi goes up on a guy with tremendous coverage and makes a big-time play, big-time catch, and a huge moment. So, again, that's one of the reasons that we've had success. It's just different guys finding ways to make plays for us when we need them to.
What about looking at Caden Cato? What's his status for the game on Friday night, this big championship game? Is he ready? How will he be? Will he be totally 100%? What's the deal on him?
Yeah, it'll be a game-time decision. So he's doing everything he needs to do to try to get himself ready, and we'll just be, kind of see how he goes through practice today and how he's feeling tomorrow, and we'll kind of make that decision as we get down to UNC.
What was his diagnosis after the injury? What was the injury? What happened there?
Yeah, he just had an ankle sprain. Just kind of got rolled up on that tackle there in the first quarter, and he was off to a good start. So we've had a lot of different things like that happen throughout the year for us this year. guys just keep picking one another up. So we'll do the same tomorrow night.
Talk about the quarterback situation. First part of the year, you got first game West Charlotte, you got to face on Brandon. He hurts that thumb, and Brody Lowe takes over. It was almost like a seamless transition from the senior to the freshman, took over, and then the same transition in the playoffs. The face-on comes back in, almost again a seamless transition. Talk about how smooth that went.
Yeah, well, it wasn't as smooth on the inside as it was on the outside, just because, you lose Faison. That's the guy that has taken tremendous amount of snaps and reps for us and was really our leader going into this year, and it was a lot of what we was going to do offensively obviously revolves around him. But Brody, he had a great summer, great camp, and prepared every week like he was the starter, and because of that, when he got his opportunity, he was ready to go. And other guys elevated their game around him, but Brody played phenomenal during that stretch, and the future's bright for Grimsley football with him leading the offense the next few years. But he's a great player, extremely poised for a young kid, and he played, like I said, phenomenal football through that 9-week stretch where he was our starter. And our team got better during that time. Other guys had to do different things, and then when Faison got healthy and was able to come back, Brody understood, Faison being back, kind of what his role would be. So those two guys get along well and help and encourage one another. And, then Faison got right back in the mix, and it's like he hadn't missed a beat. And he got right back to going, and he'd been preparing and getting himself ready. It wasn't like all of a sudden he's just back playing now. So he'd had a couple weeks of throwing the football around and a couple weeks of practice with the bye week that we had there before the playoffs. So all that, I think, helped him get him back in game form.
Just had Thanksgiving about a couple weeks ago on this Thursday, so I guess you're very thankful this year you had two good quarterbacks like you had.
Yeah, we're very fortunate for sure. And Brody going into the year was probably going to be our JV quarterback and take a lot of snaps there and then be an 8-quarter guy for us. So he was forced into action early, but again, just how his preparation, what he's done, but even before he got here, just getting himself ready and the discipline that he has and how he's worked. And then this summer, just how he spent time, with Coach Tripp, going through our offense, watching film, and preparing, like I said, every day like he was our starter. And that's what you're supposed to do. And it's hard for a lot of guys to do that, but he did that. He took those reps at practice, even when it was mental reps, like he was playing that Friday night. And then when his time came, he was ready to go.
Talk about Ty Shoemake, your running back. He's really been impressive this season as a sophomore. He's really stepped his game up every week. Something gets better, and that's a positive thing, too, to be this late in the season. He's still getting better. Yeah,
well, Ty has gotten better every week, and he's gotten more game snaps as the season's gone along. And started out him and Micah sharing a lot of that duty. And played like that for most of the year, to be honest with you. And then Micah suffered an injury there toward the end of the regular season. Put him out for a couple of weeks, so it forced Ty to get most of the snaps and reps. And like I said, he's had a great run through the playoffs. Had a big game on Thursday night, and he's going to be a big-time player as well. And another guy that's just willing to do whatever it takes to help Grimsley win.
Let's turn to the opposition. Coach Chadwick's team coming in. What about Clayton, the Clayton Comets, a team that's been around playoff action for years, good, successful program? What do you see in those guys as you prepare for them this week?
Well-coached football team that plays extremely hard. Offensively, it revolves around their quarterback, the smallest kid, is headed to NC State, phenomenal athlete. Makes plays for him with his legs. A lot of quarterback design runs and read game for him. And then also in the passing game, I think some of their best passing game stuff happens when he's scrambling and kind of getting off schedule a little bit and making plays with his legs, getting outside the pocket and finding guys down the field. So we've got to make sure we limit the big plays, the explosive plays. And defensively, they're really good up front. It starts up front for them on the defensive side of the ball. They play really good with their down four. The linebackers are good players, and then I think they feel like they're really good on the back end. They're super athletic back there, and they play a lot of man coverage, a lot of one-high look. I feel like they want to base out of. So again, just a really good football team. Well coached, like I said, very sound, and they're hot right now. They're playing good football, so it's going to take our best effort on Friday night.
Going to take your best effort. Some things in particular you needed to win this game. What are some key things you have in this game going in?
Well, just the normal stuff. We don't have to do anything different than what we've been doing. We got to take care of the football. We had a couple of turnovers last Thursday, and can't do that. We got to make sure we take care of the football on offense. Defensively, I just mentioned, we got to limit the explosive plays. Anytime you watch film on them, you see the Smalls kid, every film, 2 or 3, 50, 60-yard runs, where it just kind of gets them going, and they kind of feed off of his energy. So limiting those plays and then being really sound and disciplined in special teams. If you can find a way to block a kick or return a kick, that's huge. But as much as anything, just being sound, flipping the field, covering down on kicks. If we get a chance to score points in our special teams, whether it's field goals or whatever it is, making the most of those opportunities. And again, it's the recipe every week. So really get to this point, it doesn't change, just kind of continue to do what we've been doing.